Okay, let's dive right into it. In the world of AI, you've got these two huge names constantly grabbing headlines. But the real question is, which one's actually smarter? So, in one corner, you've got ChatGPT, which comes from the folks over at OpenAI. And in the other corner, we have Gemini, straight from the tech giant Google. Now, both of these are, super smart AI chatbots that can help us with all sorts of things. But they kind of work in different ways. All right, so let's kick things off with the basics. How do these tools actually stack up when you're just using them for simple, everyday stuff like, say, homework or just brainstorming some fun ideas? So you can think of ChatGPT as your go-to creative partner. I mean, it's been trained on this just massive library of books and texts, so it's absolutely fantastic at creative tasks. It can whip up exciting stories, poems, or even help you come up with some really catchy ads for a business. Okay, now, Gemini, its superpower is totally different. It's connected to the live internet, and that makes it less of a storyteller and more like a top-notch research assistant. It's perfect for getting the most current information for a school project or, just finding out the latest news. But, and this is a big but, they are not perfect, not by a long shot. CNET did this really fun test where they asked both AIs for a red turntable. And guess what? Both of them made mistakes, or what the experts call hallucinating, where they just kind of make stuff up. ChatGPT suggested turntables that weren't even red, and Gemini suggested one that you couldn't actually buy in red. It just goes to show you that even super smart AI can get pretty mixed up sometimes. Okay, so that's the everyday stuff. But what about when things get serious? Let's check out their pro-level powers and see how they handle the really tough things, like coding and digging through data. Yeah, when you get into these professional tasks, their different strengths really start to show. For all you coders out there, ChatGPT often shines with those super complex problems. But for researchers, Gemini is just amazing at finding the very newest data out there. Oh, and if you're someone who uses Google Docs or Drive all day, every day, Gemini fits in perfectly. And you can really see this difference in how they write computer code. Some tests have shown that ChatGPT just gets straight to the point with a simple, direct solution. Gemini, on the other hand, well, it writes code that's very proper, very by the book, which, can sometimes be way more complicated than it needs to be. Now, here is where Gemini has a huge, and I mean huge, advantage. It has what's called a massive context window. The best way to think of it is like a giant short-term memory. It can look at entire videos, listen to long audio files, or read through hundreds of pages of text all at once. It's pretty incredible. And check this out. This is a really big deal. If you're just using the free version, Gemini can actually create pictures for you right out of the box. With ChatGPT, that's a feature you have to pay for. So yeah, you could literally ask Gemini to draw a picture of a kitten eating spaghetti and boom, it would do it. All right, next up, let's talk about playing by the rules. Both of these AIs have safety features built in, but they don't always apply them in the same way. Gemini, for instance, is extremely careful. If you ask it about sensitive topics like politics, it will often just refuse to answer, probably to avoid saying something wrong. For example, it pretty much wouldn't summarize a presidential debate for you. ChatGPT, though, is a little more open about these things. It's generally more willing to talk about current events and will give you a summary of what news experts are saying about stuff like political debates, the very things that Gemini tends to avoid. Okay, so what about the money? Let's break down what you actually get for free versus what you're gonna get if you decide to open your wallet. So both of the free versions are actually really powerful, but they offer different perks. With the free ChatGPT, you get a super fast model that's great for general use. With free Gemini, you get that live info from the internet and that awesome image creation we just talked about. Now, if you decide to pay, it's about $20 a month for either one. That's when you unlock their most powerful, top-of-the-line models and a whole bunch of other features. So let's wrap this up. When should you choose ChatGPT? Well, it's probably your best bet if you need a creative writing partner, for stories or ads, or if you want really detailed, well-structured answers. And for sure, if you're a developer who's tackling a super tricky coding project. And what about Gemini? When is it the clear winner? You'll want to go with Gemini if you absolutely need the most up-to-the-minute facts from the web. Also, if you live inside Google apps like Docs and Drive, it's a no-brainer. And finally, if you have a massive document or even a video that you needed to analyze and summarize for you. Hey, we really hope this quick breakdown was useful for you. If it was, a quick like and subscribe would be absolutely amazing. It really helps us make more explainers just like this one. So after all that, we've got to ask, which AI do you think comes out on top? Is it the creative powerhouse, ChatGPT, or is it the real-time research pro, Gemini? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so let us know in the comments below.